we need to start reading. It's in your Quran who the chosen people are. Now, here's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is not that through the scriptures the Most High chose a people. It really get heated when we can show them who the people are. Who are those people? And we show them it's not those Jewish people over there today. They're not the people of this Bible. So we can show with biblical proof and historical proof beyond any shadow of a doubt who the children of Israel or the children of the diaspora are in the earth today. They really get heated. They really get upset. Why? As long as I acknowledge you Ishmaelites as the people of God and took your rugs and kufis and made you my imam, everything was fine. It was no problem. As long as we acknowledge Jeff Goldberg as a Jewish guy over in Israel, no one got mad at them when they said they was Jews. What's the problem here? Am I experiencing reverse racism here? Why everyone else can be revered in the earth, but when we show the truth of who the people are, these people cannot be the people. No, it can't be them. Not these people. And the majority of the time they feel that way because they know in their heart how they really feel about these people. Y'all don't understand. The Most High, since the beginning, operated with the underdogs. People don't understand that. Because if he operated any other way, then the power would not be his. It would be through the mass of people. He said, I didn't choose you, Israel, because you were the greatest of people. I chose you because you was the least of the people. So that he can show his power. A lot of people don't understand that. The Most High deal with the underdog. If you want to know who the Most High's people is, start with the bottom of the earth. Why? Because all nations cannot stand the God of the Hebrews. That's the reason. That's the purpose of religion today. To stamp out the true God, the God of all gods, named from existence. Because he didn't choose certain people from the beginning. So now that God's people fell, there's no people to represent him. They will exalt their gods. Hence, religion. Common sense. And then we have to keep our foot on these people, because if these people rise, they may rise and bring forth their God. They may start calling on the God that delivered them out of Egypt. So let's make sure we open up religion. We'll fight at the top with religion, but we'll make it free for the people to keep them confused and mixed into all these different ideologies and ideas. They don't want y'all to understand, or they don't want you to actually understand this. Our greatest bondage in this earth, our spiritual bondage, is religion. Okay? And I understand that living in a capitalistic society where you can't get anything unless you're willing to pay something. But I can set up a church. I can set up something that's part of their brainwashing system. I don't have to pay the government a dime if I set up an institution based on the brainwashing of the people. They claim we're brainwashed. Oh my goodness. Oh, those guys are cult. It's true cultism. You was born in a cult. You was born in England, you're in a cult. You were born in America, you're in a cult. They lied to you from the womb. The origin of religion. Genesis 11, read.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
So at this time, now this was after the flood. The whole earth was with one language and of one speech. So there was no language barrier. All right? So it was easy to allow the people to understand the same thing and think the same thing. No language barrier. Right? That one language was the ancient Hebrew. It was not Aramaic. That's another lie they're putting out there. The original language was Hebrew. After the tower was split during the time of Peleg, the language came through Eber. Eber is a short name for Hebrew. It's not Ebrite. It should be, it's not Hebrite. It should be Ebrite, because Eber kept the language through Abraham down to the 12 tribes. But the original language was Hebrew. Read.
Verse 2. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
Now the land of Shinar today would be modern day Iraq. But who traveled to the land of Shinar to build this tower? Nimrod. Nimrod was a Cushite, or a Hamite. Ham had 4 sons, which are Cush. Cush is Ethiopians. Mizraim, Ethiopians. Egyptians. Then you have North Africans, which are Canaanites, Canaan. And you got South Africans, which is Canaan, and North Africans, which is Pawut. We're not from either of those 4 families, our family line. I'm talking about the people that went in the cargo slave ships from the western Ivory Coast as part of the slave trade of the transatlantic slave trade. We're not from any of those 4 families. Cush is from Ham. Nimrod is from Cush. So here it is, Nimrod is traveling to Shinar, which is Iraq, to set up a city. Read.
Verse 4. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth.
Go ahead.
And the Most High came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Most High said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
The people are one and have all one language. Read.
And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be constrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Go ahead.
Go to, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
So they was building a tower. Get the book of Jasher for me. We're going to go into detail with this tower. They was building a tower. Now this tower was not just a building. This tower was also a stargate. A stargate to be able to go into the heavens. It dealt with the highest of technology. It was the highest technology. A matter of fact, this world just started assuming some of that technology that they got from ancient Babylon. And not only was it a tower, this tower had 2 parts. It was a twin tower that connected at some point and goes further up into the heavens. So we're going to look at the real point of this tower. I'll get it from Jasher. Finish reading what you have there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 11 verse 7. Go to, let us go down and there confound their language.
It says, let us go down and confound their language. So the angels came down and divided the languages according to nations. The Hamitic people would have a different language. The Japhetic people would have a different language. And the Shemitic people would have a different language. Read.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
Go ahead.
So the Most High scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, And they left off to build the city.
And they left off to build the city. Hold that. They left off to build the city. They couldn't communicate with each other. You need the same language and the same blueprint to communicate. So because they couldn't communicate, they left off from building this tower, this incomplete tower. We're going to show you what was in that tower in a moment. Also, in order for Nimrod to get all these people to believe in this construct, he constructed some of what we call the first cities. Everyone needed the same ideology to have the same idea to go into the heavens. So in order to do this, he had to get people from these different areas they were in and have all the life be in cities, in which you would desire to live in city instead of plain. Then he had a worship once a week. His worship was the worship of the sun, the S-U-N. And it had to happen every Sunday. Everyone was in the same mindset, the same ritual, same understanding. So now, if an idea comes, the idea comes from the whole. You understand? Then they started building this tower. And this tower had spiritual weaponry to fight against the Most High. So, that lets our governments today, which are Masons, know, in order for us to get back to where Nimrod was, we must inject the same ideology amongst the earth. We have to make everybody worship the same. Everyone must think the same. We must keep them in cities to control their minds. We must use television. We must go out in space and build constructs in space. Now that we have one language again. How did they get that one language? Through computers. Through the computers, they was able to bring all the languages back to vice, to go against what the Most High destroyed from the beginning. To get all nations under one idea again, to go up into the heavens, to fight against the Most High himself. That is the promise of Lucifer, the fallen angel. Lucifer is the god worshipped in Masonry, or what you would call Masons. That's their idea. Masons are builders. So what was the original building construct? A construct to fight against God. That's what your Catholic churches are behind. That's what your religions are behind. That's what your government militaries are behind. Their time is running out. They're on a short clock. And they understand what's coming from the sky is not for them. Let's get it. The book of Jasher, read it.
The book of Jasher, chapter 9, verse 20.
Go ahead.
And King Nimrod reigned securely, and all the earth was under his control.
All the earth was under his control. That is the point of government, to control the people. The government is not the people. Don't ever believe that. Don't ever think that. They need you to think that, but the government is not the people. You do not vote people in. You don't dictate the future of government. You don't. Government is set up to control people. Yes?
For those that may not know, what scriptures are there that say the book of Jasher is something that we can trust?
Because I forgot. We have some newer people in here that, what's the book of Jasher? Right? They won't say nothing here, but they'll go by themselves like, well, I don't know about these guys. They came from a book that I know it wasn't the Bible. Well, so right there, that turned me off. So those that are looking for an excuse to think that what we're teaching is not biblical, I need you to go to the book of Joshua. 1 Samuel 1 and 13. And Joshua 10 and 13. Out of the Bible. Let's go where the Bible tells us to go. How is that? Thank you, fella. Thank you, brother.
Joshua
10.
1 Samuel